Emiratis only are 10% of the population. We are the minority in our country. The population is around 10 to 11 million last time I checked. Emiratis were less than a million.
What is it like to be an Emirati woman?
There's a lot of Emirati women here which are entrepreneurs, businesswomen in the government or in politics.
This is a way more diverse place than
Than
anywhere
America.
I've seen in the
That's
States.
true. We accept everyone, but we do not expect them to leave their culture and integrate into ours. We respect all cultures, we respect all religions. We have 200 nationalities living with us. The government is a wealthy government that takes care of its people. We have free education, free housing, free healthcare.
Assalamu alaikum, my friends, and welcome back to the United Arab Emirates. We are in Abu Dhabi currently in the Grand Mosque of Sheikh Zayed. You can see how incredibly impressive this building is. And I'm also joined with my friend Sumaya, which you guys met the other day.
How are you?
We are going to be touring around this area today, a little bit of Abu Dhabi, and we're going to have some nice conversations about what it means to be an Emirati. And we've come to like such a significant place, which is the biggest.
Zayed Mosque.
This is the biggest mosque in the United Arab Emirates, right?
Yes, it is. The most visited, I think, in the Middle East after the holy places, of course.
It's absolutely beautiful. So let's go on in. Let's check it out. It kind of feels like a little unreal. It's
Yeah.
the size of it. I've never seen a mosque this big before.
And everything has a story behind it, by the way. So let's see if we're gonna find one of these tour guides that would take us around and explain to us what this mosque really means and signifies.
It is literally blinding out here. It's unbelievable coming out to this place. Oh my God, it's so bright and white. And this whole area is fenced off too, so you can actually walk in here. But oh my God, look at that mosque. It's crazy. But I'm literally like, I can't even keep my eyes open. It's so bright here. This is amazing.
So this is the eastern foyer. By the way, they just installed these things that they weren't there before.
Oh, so that you wouldn't walk on the original.
Yes, I think it's because of the tourists. So before they would remove their shoes outside, and now I think so they would save time, and so people would come in and leave quickly. They made this thing so they can step on it without stepping on the actual mosque.
Smart.
Yeah, because some people would give you trouble. No, I don't want to take off my shoes. No, I don't want to do this and that. So you know what? Keep on your shoes, but you're not stepping on the carpet. You're not stepping on the
Right.
floor where people would pray.
And would people be praying here also, or mostly in there?
If these were uninstalled, yes, people would be praying here. And I think they installed it only in the places where tourists can walk in. But like for Muslims, people who would pray, they can go inside, obviously after they take off their shoes.
Right.
And this wall, it has the 99 names of God. There is an unknown name of his that no one knows, only he knows. They left empty flower petal in the wall, but I can't remember where it is exactly. I think maybe it's on the right side.
Oh yeah, I see it, the one above.
Yeah, and they kept it empty.
You can see that right there. So wait, when you say the 99 names of God, each one is a different name for God in Arabic?
Like for example, all the attributes of God are his names as well. Al-Karim means the all generous.
Like maybe the word Rahman would be up there also? Oh, I got you.
Rahman, Rahim.
Wow.
Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Rahman, Harahum.
Okay.
In Hebrew. Al-Wali, the most loyal. Al-Muntaqim, the avengers, the one who takes your revenge for you. Al-Ra'uf is the most merciful, and Al-Afu is the all forgiving. Al-Qadir, the all capable. Given all the names of God are all his attributes. And there's an attribute or there's a name that no one knows, only he knows. So they kept it empty for him.
The big one in the circle, does that say Allah?
Allah.
That's
Allah,
like the main.
that's the Elohim.
Yeah.
Allah is God in English and Elohim in Hebrew. and all the other names are the attributes of God.
We've entered the mosque now from another entrance, and you can see just these massive chandeliers. Look how insane this looks, just lined up. 1, 2, 3. They're massive, they're so big. So Sumaya and I were talking about it earlier. She had a guess that it was the largest carpet in the world, and she was right.
The word largest hand knotted carpet. So it's not like automatically made like with the machines, it's hand knotted.
5,400 square meters, that's crazy.
And it's 70% wool and 30% cotton.
Nuts, that's nuts.
And it's 35 tons.
Can we take a second to appreciate this slow opening, beautiful door? This is so epic in design. It's also like, it's near impossible to walk around here without sunglasses. I'm having such a hard time opening my eyes. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in the video. I had laser eye surgery like a couple months ago, like almost 6 months ago. My eyes are still very sensitive to light. So Shumaya and I are gonna find a nice little shaded spot. But there were some questions that I had about being Emirati, the religion, the aspects of being a person of this country, of this nationality, that I wanted to ask her. And we're gonna find us a little place and answer some questions that maybe you guys are interested in knowing too, because you know, as significant and beautiful this place is, and when people come and visit this country and visit the cities of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, I feel like not a lot of people get a chance to interact with locals the way that I'm getting a chance to interact with Sumaya, which is amazing. Okay, we've chosen a very nice setting, I think, for this.
Yeah, fountains and the mall.
Largest mosque in your country. It's a good time, I think, to pose this question. I would assume that a lot of people out there in the world probably wonder about who the Emirati people actually are. I've done a little bit of research online, but I still haven't come to a clear conclusion, and the best time to ask this question is with an actual local person who's Emirati. So can you tell me, like, what is being Emirati? Like, who are the Emirati people?
Why don't I bounce it back to you, and I want to know what are the stereotypical thoughts of an Emirati person?
I think that, like, this is coming from a very uneducated person on...
It's okay. I wanna know like the stereotypes,
right,
so I can start from somewhere and tell you what we actually are.
I would go and assume that I would say that a lot of people, including myself, have the misconceived notions that Emirati people are extremely rich, are all royal, and are also a minority in their own country. That's something that I know about. It's like that there's way more foreigners living here than actual locals. I guess some more preconceived notions are like that people drive around in Lamborghinis all day, and the police are super rich and have like Hummers and BMWs, and people are just flying around in helicopters. I don't know how uneducated that sounds, but that's like kind of what I...
Well, as they say, every stereotype has a part of the truth. There is some truth in what you said, but it's very little. And let me put it in this way. What you got right is we are the minority in our country. Emiratis only are 10% of the population. The population is around 10 to 11 million last time I checked, and Emiratis were less than a million. We're like around 990 something thousand human beings in our country. Being rich people, not everyone is a rich person, but the government is a wealthy government that takes care of its people. So that's why you will not see any homeless people in Dubai, but there are people who are working and getting their month-to-month wage, and they're working very hard, and they're like the majority of Emiratis get their university education, which is taken care of by the government. So we are very well taken care of by the government that we do not need to pay money in certain places and certain areas, where the misconception of us being rich comes out. We have free education, free housing, free healthcare. Of course, there are people who are rich, but there are people like me and others who get their education, search for jobs, and work for their month-to-month paycheck. We're hard workers. If I say we are a majority of us are well educated, so obviously the majority will be in well-paid jobs, and because we are a minority in our country, so there will be less unemployment in the Emirati population.
I'm curious actually to ask you about that. Like, what is it like to be a minority in your own country that you're native from? This is the first time I've ever traveled to a place where that is the case. I don't think I've ever been to a country before where the locals are outnumbered by like tenfold by foreigners, like tourists and workers and everything. Like, what is that feeling actually like?
For me, I feel privileged, I feel proud, and not only to have a country that's taking care of me, but also privileged to have this experience of having multicultural and diverse national base in the Emirates. So we have 200 nationalities living with us. So it's more than a melting pot. It's you get to taste and see each culture in its own unique way without integrating. So we're integrating without integrating. What that means is we accept everyone, but we do not expect them to leave their culture and integrate into ours. We respect all cultures, we respect all religions, and we expect them to keep their uniqueness and keep their values and keep their culture as long as we all respect each other equally.
I will say, and I've said this multiple times in some videos here, it's like, I've lived in New York City. I'm from America. Actually, so are you. You're born in the U.S.
I was born in the U.S., Colorado, Boulder, and lived there until I was 8 years old, and then I went back with my family.
We both agree that like this is a way more diverse place
Yes,
than
than
anywhere
America.
I've seen in
Yeah,
the
that's
States.
true.
Like even in New York, as much of a melting pot as New York City is, the representation I've seen in the UAE of all nationalities, like literally every conceivable country you can imagine resides here. It's unbelievable. It's like actually crazy, and it is, I think it actually is a privilege, just like you were saying, to be surrounded by so many people. What is it like to be an Emirati woman specifically?
See, you said it's controversial, but here in the Emirates, it's not at all. Because yes, I've been in many places in the world where they have these preconceptions and stereotypes of a Muslim or Arab woman. In my country, it's not the case at all, because since the beginning of the country, since it was established, the leadership took very good care of the women. They really took care of their education and encouraged it. They encouraged women to join the workforce in different aspects of it, even in police and military. They were included from the very beginning. We do drive here in the Emirates, like since the country was established.
I can vouch for her. She's been driving me around for 2 days now.
And by the way, there are things that are not very known about women in the Emirates. There's a lot of Emirati women here which are entrepreneurs. There's a lot of women here that are businesswomen, a lot of women here who are in leadership roles, even in the government or in politics. There are ambassadors, there are ministers. We have the highest number of female ambassadors and ministers in the whole of the Middle East. This is something I researched and I found out. Like, I thought we were, and then I was sure. This is a fact, which I'm telling you.
Like, we didn't mention it in yesterday's video or today's video so far, but Sumaya keeps speaking in Hebrew. And that's like, maybe you guys recognize the language, maybe some of you guys don't, but she speaks the same language that is like native to my people. Why do you speak Hebrew?
Okay. So I've been interested in Hebrew for a very long time. Coincidentally introduced to it by YouTube. I've seen the Shema in Yemenite dialect, and I've seen some songs from Hafra Haza. And hearing Hebrew in the Mizrahi, or to be specifically saying Yemenite dialect, it sounded so familiar, but in the same time, I didn't get it. Obviously, that's because it's a Semitic language, and Arabic is as well as a Semitic language, and I love my Arabic so much, and I felt like it's a language that I should be decoding because it felt coded, you know? It felt like Arabic. It has the hit, it has the ayn, it has the quf, it has all these, but why isn't it Arabic? I need to learn. I got curious. So I started trying to learn Hebrew, and I specifically wanted to learn the Mizrahi dialect. And I started looking in YouTube. I started printing out
papers just to try to learn, but I felt there was something missing. But I left it aside for a few years because I was working as an electrical engineer. I had my social life, I had my life going on, and I didn't have that time to just focus on learning a new language. I tried, I failed because I was too busy, and I had to have dedication. Anyone who wants to learn a language, this is my advice. You have to have dedication. So a few years fast forward, the year 2020, I decided that it is the time where quarantine, where you were just closed up in your house or in your rooms or in your apartments, not doing anything, just watching not really useful content on different platforms, not really learning anything. I'm a very social human being. I'm a very outdoorsy person, so I felt stuck. I felt like I'm not moving, I'm not going anywhere. So suddenly I decided, wait, I got all the time in the world and I'm not using it. Why don't I use it in something that I was postponing all these years? What was it? It was learning the language, and the language I was most interested in was Hebrew. So I started going into platforms that give you language exchange opportunities. Finally, I decided to create a language exchange platform of my own. I created a WhatsApp group. People started flowing in. I didn't expect that. And I started this in May 2020. And by July and August, it was already full. Totally full group. August, there was news of a peace agreement, which I didn't know because I'm not the type of person that looks into the news. I'm not really interested in politics. That's not my vibe. I'm an engineer. I'm a more technical person.
For context, UAE and Israel were not at war ever, but like we had no diplomatic ties. We were not allowed to travel into each other's countries. Actually, I was here once with my American passport in transit to Sri Lanka, and I had my Israeli passport hidden in my bag, and I was terrified at the idea of somebody finding my Israeli passport here and knowing that I was Israeli citizen. It's hilarious sitting on a bench now in Abu Dhabi with you.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, the fact that we can coexist now, which is amazing. But like, just so you know, just in recent history, within the last 2 years, we've only made a peace agreement and a diplomatic tie.
Yeah, so the peace agreement happened, and my friends who were Israeli, who were in the group, where the language exchange group, Arabic and Hebrew, they were telling me, Sumaya, we're coming to the UAE. And I was like, what do you mean? And they started showing me news clips of like, there's an agreement and we can come to your country. And I was like, Baruchim habaim, lama lo, tavu'u. And people started coming. And when it was allowed for travel, people started coming. And I started meeting them, taking them around, showing them around. And after a while, I decided to go to Israel and study there. I have been thinking of changing my major for a long while to study midwifery and nursing. I want to be a midwife as well, besides an engineer. And I've applied for many places. Eventually, I got to visit Israel. And when I visited Israel, it was an amazing experience. I've always prayed to God that I want to visit Al-Aqsa Mosque at least once before I die. And it happened when I was 30 years old. It was amazing. It was fabulous. I met a lot of people. I got to understand what the Israeli culture is besides the Arabic Palestinian culture. We visited Palestinian families as well as Israeli families, Orthodox religious families as well as secular families. We met the Druze. The Druze, I've always heard about them, but I've never like interacted with Druze before. I knew what the religion is, but I didn't deeply understand it, you know? It was a life-changing experience for me, and I decided that I want to study and learn in Israel, especially that I want to better my Hebrew and as well get a degree. Israel is known for being the best when it comes to technology, and it's the best when it comes to medicine in the Middle East. So I was like, well, it's not too far from home, it's just a 3-hour plane. Why not? It's a culture that I'm very excited to learn. It's a language that I'm very excited to learn about. And it's a legit place to learn medicine at. So yeah, that's the sum up of my experience. That's how I started to learn, why I went to Israel, and how I'm currently living in Israel.
And Sumaya is going to be launching a YouTube channel, inshallah, very soon.
Very soon, I'm gonna link it. You're gonna link it.
We're gonna link it in the bio here in the future. So if you're coming across this video, even if it's a year after, subscribe to her channel. It'll be down below in the description. But for now, make sure you follow her Instagram because she posts there all the time. Really amazing content.
My updates, what I'm doing. I answer questions of people asking me how is it living in Israel, because a lot of people have never experienced this before, especially from the Middle East, people who from countries who still do not have peace with Israel, and people who are afraid go and visit Israel because of all the stereotypes and the media and the information they get from the media. So usually people who want to learn about me living in Israel from a non-biased perspective, they come and watch my videos, see how I'm living there, what I'm doing there, where the villages I'm visiting, the people I'm visiting, my day-to-day life. You're welcome to see it.
I think Sumaya's perspective is so important. As the first Emirati student in Israel, it's like that's a really monumentous status for peace between Israelis and Arabs around the world. And like hopefully this is just one step in like a large friendship that we can have across the entire Arab world between Israelis and Arabs, because there's really at the core, when you look at it, at the end of the day, there's really no reason for all of our animosity towards each other. We can
have a lot more in common between us than we have differences.
Sure.
This is if we had the time to learn about each other. Like every time I learn something more about the Jewish or Israeli community, I see how much more we have in common. Even if you look in the different culture, the Yemeni culture, the Iraqi culture, the Moroccan culture, they have so much in common with the normal Middle Eastern and the normal Arab. Both don't realize this, by the way. I'm not talking about that Arabs do not realize this only, but also when I share things about my culture with the Israelis from Mizrahi descent, they are so surprised that we do these same exact things. We have the same exact things in our culture. It's so amazing. We have to realize this by getting to know each other, by befriending each other, by understanding each other's perspectives.
I don't know about you, but this conversation made me kind of hungry, so I kind of want to go get some food. Are you down?
Yalla, let's go to eat Emirati food.
Let's go. Let's keep exploring Abu Dhabi. And the fifth private jet. So we're coming to a Kuwaiti restaurant. I can't read this Arabic at all.
It means Swalih's neighborhood. Shkhunat Swalih.
I'm excited. I've never had Kuwaiti food before. Okay, we were served some legimat. It's different than the one we had yesterday for sure. There's no samsam on it. Oh my gosh, so good.
Sugar syrup. We have date syrup. They pour sugar syrup.
Oh my god, it's so good. Wow, I love this one. I think I still prefer the Emirati version of it with the sesame and the date syrup because I just love date syrup, but this is so good. Is this karak?
No, this is coffee.
Oh, it's coffee.
But it's done in the Saudi or Kuwaiti way where they have lots of spices in it. So you don't really taste the coffee, you taste more of the spices.
It smells amazing and it has kind of like a yellow tint.
It's cardamom.
Oh, yeah.
And other spices, I can't remember where it is.
Really good though. It's really nice. And they give you just a little bit of it, not too much.
Okay, this is an Arabic tradition. So it is rude to fill your finjan to the rim. Why? In our Arabic traditions, especially in the Arabian Peninsula, coffee is seen as a sign of welcoming, as a sign of hospitality. Yeah. So the point is, if you fill it to the rim in the old times, it means drink your coffee and get the hell out. But without saying it, because we Arabs are not people who would be direct to your face in negative words. As Arabs, they are hospitable and they have to give coffee to their guests. But the difference is in how they give it to them. So if it's filled to the rim, just drink your coffee and get out. But if they want you to be there and you're very welcome, they will always put the coffee to the third or half of the cup. and they would not stop pouring you coffee until you ask them to stop. So this is the sign of hospitality of Arabs. If you see it poured less, that means you're welcome to stay, and they will not stop serving you the coffee until you do a sign, which is, this is the hand sign that means I'm done.
Really?
You're done drinking your coffee.
Oh, look at that. You learn something new every day. I want to like go back in my life and look at coffee cups that have been served in Arab places and wonder if they've been filled up all the way.
That's why I'm telling you, this is really related to the Arabian Peninsula, Khalij culture. Because what I've seen in the Levantine culture, they would fill the cup.
All the
But
way,
this
yeah.
This is not the same concept. This is not ideology of looking to serving coffee. Because yes, we are all Arabs, but this is something that people do not understand. We have cultural differences between each and Arab country, also between each region. Yes, we have a difference between Emirates and Kuwait and Oman and Saudi, although we're one region, but we are more similar in our culture than we are with the Levantine. So we are also different than the Levantine culture, but we are more alike than Syria and Palestine and Jordan and Lebanon are alike. They have small differences between each other, but they're more alike. And the North African countries, yes, Morocco is different than Tunisia, and Tunisia is different than Algeria, but when you take them as a unit, they have more similarities together than they do have it with the Khalij, like the Gulf states, or with the Levantine. So yes, we have things in common, but we have things that are different, small things. One of it is how we serve our coffee.
Wow, look at that.
Chicken.
Wow, that was not what I expected that to look like.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go one by one again. What do we got here? We got
So this is majbous diai.
majbous diai.
Rice with chicken. This is jashid. Jarbir salad, which is arugula. How do you say it?
Arugula.
Arugula.
Yeah,
And
arugula.
And that's tariq lahan, which is meat stew, which we soak the thin bread with, and it's delicious. Rice is usually eaten with this, so this is like
Shashid.
You always eat like your meats or your proteins with rice rather than bread in our culture. In other cultures, you usually eat your proteins with bread. Us,
I'm the most excited for this. I really want to dig into this.
rice.
Much boost me up.
Do you want to eat it in the traditional way, or do you want to eat it with your fork and knife?
Traditional ways with my hands? Yeah, I can do hands.
I like to do it with hands.
I love eating with my hands. I learned how to eat with my hands in Sri Lanka, which is like, it's like you dip and then you push it into your mouth like that. So that's how you do it?
That's exactly how
Okay,
you do
cool.
it. And that's the cleanest way how to do it.
Would you ever squirt some lemon on top of this? Yeah?
If you want to. These are all the condiments that you can use.
A little bit of lemon always helps in my opinion. And this one was, what did we say again? This was date?
No, it's not date. It's a mixture of berry syrup with water and ice. So it's very refreshing. And usually,
So
like
good.
Khalij region usually has this drink in Ramadan. It's very refreshing after a long day of fasting.
I'm going to tell you something amazing right now. In Israel, we have the grape juice.
I miss it.
We have the Israeli grape juice, which is a flavor I've never been able to find anywhere else in the world until this very moment.
Really, this is how it tastes like?
It's got to be something similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It tastes really good.
It's amazing. Okay.
So these are the condiments. There's this, which is chili, green chili.
A little spicy? Oh, yeah, very spicy.
And this is also red chili with tomato.
Okay, here, that's for you.
Yeah, and this is like, I think this is like harissa, like it's crushed pepper.
A little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like anything else?
What?
Do you like
Everything is
Everything's
great.
there, thank you.
And this is the onion salad that you can have it aside.
Okay. Onion
And
salad.
these are pickles if you want pickles.
Okay.
Usually I don't eat pickles, but
No, I'm good with other pickles.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got a bunch of things thrown on top now.
I'm gonna put a little bit
So
on mine.
is it acceptable to just mix it up?
Yeah, why not? Okay, I'm gonna tell you how like the etiquette of eating. Usually we from in front of us, like the area in front of us.
Oh, okay.
We do not eat from the middle of the plate. Some people in the Western world would see this is a third world way of eating stuff. This is not etiquette, and this is like how basic or unintelligent or uncultured people eat. But actually, it does have its own etiquette and way of eating. Yes, we do eat with our hands, which might be even cleaner than eating with a fork and knife, and more healthy because it's not chemically.
There's nothing
clean.
foreign coming to your body.
Yes, after you clean your hands with soap, you can start and eat. First things first, eat from the area in front of you. If you eat all over the place, no one else can eat with you on your plate, which was a tradition. You eat from a huge plate, everyone eats. But thing is, you eat from the area in front of you, so everyone can eat with you. And there is bracha in the food, and they say the bracha of the food is in the center. Why you do not eat from the center is because you're reaching into the bracha. If you take it out and there's no center, there's no bracha. There's no barakah in Arabic, no blessing. You can mix it if you want beforehand, but once you khalas mix it, you take the scoop with your fingers, you press it into the plate so you can make sure it's pressed in your fingers, yeah? Is it pressed in?
It's pressed in enough, I think.
Okay. And then, as he told me, you push it with your thumb into your mouth, like this.
Here's the chicken. How do you say chicken in Arabic?
In Fusha, you say the judge.
The judge.
But in some Khaliji dialect, you say diyai.
Diyai. Okay.
So the j becomes a y. Like Joseph, Yosef.
Oh, Joseph. Oh, Joseph right here. You can point out who's the professional. Who's the uncultured? Who's the professional? It's so good though, wow. Flavors are amazing. It is very spicy though. Look, I just want you guys to take a look at the meat. Look how pink it is. Whatever the seasoning marinade that's going in there, it's making the meat pink. And it's amazing.
Like
Here's the jadajid. Guys, take a look at the presentation. Amazing.
Wait, let me take it and just like put it down like this.
Even
See?
easier. Yeah.
You can have the bread too if you want to.
Take a little piece. Jadajid salad. So I'm not a huge fan of arugula usually, but you know.
with the fish, it's gonna be really good. But wait for it. I'm gonna put some
okay,
of
okay,
that.
okay.
But
Okay,
I didn't mention it was shark, so you can leave it.
Yeah, I could leave it out or take it out. So we're doing white rice now.
And then you use ghee.
Ghee,
Yes.
which is like a butter, right?
Kind of butter. It's animal ghee. Like
Ghee on the rice. Okay.
yes.
So it really looks like a minced fish, huh?
Yeah, it's minced fish basically.
Okay, there you go. Jashid with rice, a little bit of the arugula salad. I'm gonna try the jashid first, just because I'm curious about the flavor. It smells amazing.
I love the ghee.
Yo, that's so good. I was not expecting it to be this good.
Do you like it?
This might be my favorite thing I've eaten in the Emirates so
Really?
far.
I'm happy that you said that.
Wow. It's such a unique flavor.
It's kind of sweet, right?
It's kind of sweet. And the rice with the ghee, look how beautiful this dish is. Look at that. It's really, really, really unique. And honestly, the jadajid, I'm loving it with this.
Yeah.
It's a great combination.
It's a good combination with fish in general. That's why I told you. This is another way of eating. You
Putting
do
your
this, you're trying to squeeze it in, and then trying to scoop it up. But this is like more the professional way of doing it, because you don't want to make a mess, right? Then
Jashid down the hatch. We got our last dish here that we haven't tried yet, which is
Ferit. So the stew has, of course, vegetable, squash, potato, and carrots.
Carrots.
Yes, and this is a bell pepper, but I don't know. Anyways, I was trying to take out the bread. This is soaked bread.
Wow.
You see the ragag that we ate yesterday?
Yeah.
It's soaked in maraq, and this dish is called farid.
Maraq is soup for you?
Maraq is stew.
Stew in Arabic?
Yes.
Maraq?
Maraq.
Oh, amazing. It's like that in Hebrew also.
Yeah?
Maraq.
But soup is shorba, we say
Oh,
shorba.
so for us, soup is maraq.
Yeah.
I think I might eat this one with a spoon just because it might be easier for me. Okay, and remind me which bread this was again? This was the flat bread, right?
Yeah, the very crispy,
Yeah.
crispy bread.
So I need you guys to go watch our video from yesterday that we posted together of us eating more of an Emirati breakfast.
Maraq.
I don't think that this will be everybody's cup of tea, but it's really delicious. It reminds me a little bit of injera, like Ethiopian injera. If you eat it after at the bottom, once it's soaked up all the juices of everything that's been on the plate, that's what it kind of reminds me of. What I'm more impressed with, less the texture, is the flavor of the soup. There's like cinnamon in here. I don't know if there's cinnamon or cardamom.
Maybe it's in the maraq.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The maraq, because there's meat. So when you do meat, usually people like to spice it up with other spices that will take away the smell of the meat.
Yeah.
You like it?
I love them. And those ribs. I
Oh.
think they're ribs.
One more piece of information. It's also one of the Prophet's favorite foods.
This? Really?
Prophet Muhammad's favorite foods. It's mentioned in one of the hadiths. If
Really?
someone researches, they would find it.
Farid. For me, number one is the jashid. Then the majboos. And then this. They're all amazing, but I like the other two flavors a lot more. And these are foods you would find in Emirati homes, yeah?
Yes, 100%.
Guys, we just finished the meal here. We got a bunch of leftovers we're taking back home. Farij Swele. That's the name of the restaurant. Check them out. I'll link them down below in the description. They were super awesome, super welcoming, really, really delicious. You can see our plates have been devoured.
That's how you say heh.
Farij
Swedish.
Swele.
Yeah, Farij Swedish.
Farij Swele.
No,
I keep that cha comes out. I'm Jewish. I don't know what to say. I'm a Jew. It just comes out. Anyways, guys, check them out. It's an amazing restaurant. Really, really delicious. That was awesome. I really appreciate. That was definitely the best food I've had in the UAE so far, and just like really quality food. That was really, really yummy. Guys, they covered our whole meal. They sponsored our meal. That was awesome.
That was awesome, yeah. It
The-
was a surprise sponsorship.
The lady kept on asking us about the blog and what we were filming and everything, and I had a suspicion that she was going to tell us to stop filming at some point, and then the opposite, she actually encouraged it and ended up paying for our meal. So huge shout out to this restaurant. I thank you for showing us love. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, that was just really, really, really quality food. That was seriously, you saw I was recommending it before they even paid for the meal. It was really good. I can highly recommend it. It was delicious.
We're in the Emirates Palace. Lots of tourists here.
Wow. Look at this palace.
Yes.
So this is the home of someone? Someone sleeps here or no?
Over there, I think, is the President Palace. I'm not so sure. But over here is the Emirates Palace. It's more of a hotel that is done in a way that it really looks like a royal palace. But it's not someone's home.
Wow, look, the sunset is reflecting on it. So beautiful. Wow. So you can actually stay here as a tourist and sleep here?
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much it costs, but yes.
Probably too much, to be honest.
Sometimes, newlyweds would book a night here. Feel the fancy atmosphere of it.
The design is, this is a palace.
This is only from the outside. I mean, if you go in the inside, it's really palacey. Royal.
Amazing. The design here is so beautiful. Big old Rolex clock. It's amazing. Take a little look at the skyline here of Abu Dhabi. It's just a little bit, not the whole skyline, but how beautiful these buildings are. Well, that is awesome.
This is the presidential palace.
This one right here?
Yeah.
This is the Buckingham Palace of the UAE?
Yes.
It actually feels very, very much like Buckingham Palace. Like this is... Oh, that white one, I'm proud.
This one, no. This one, yes, I guess. I'm not. And these are like apartments. Like people who live here and have a balcony that you can just see the UAE palace and the presidential palace. I mean, it's so awesome.
So we tried going to the Dubai Mall earlier and finding like a luxurious camel milk. We just couldn't find it. So we're here in the supermarket.
Camel milk. And there are flavors. There's dates. There's chocolate.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get all of them, I think.
Really?
For
There's
sure.
saffron, but I can't find it.
That's one. And we'll get these two for sure.
Chocolate and
Yeah. And date.
date.
It's good for diabetes, and it's good, like it has more protein than the normal milk, I guess.
That is very interesting. It's like a light milk.
Yeah, how?
It's like less thick than normal milk. It feels more
Yeah.
watery.
Yes, it does. It has higher percentage of water than.
It almost kind of tastes like almond milk. It's very light. Okay, we'll try the chocolate one next. Actually, no, let's try the date one next. Oh my god, that's amazing. I knew I was gonna like this one. That is phenomenal. That is so good. Oh my god. If I lived here, I'd be drinking this every day.
I wish you tried the saffron, but it's not
Oh my god,
available.
that's so good. It's stupid how good that is.
Now try the chocolate. Very cliche, but yalla.
Yeah, but I bet this is gonna be delicious.
Did you shake it? Did you forget to shake it?
No,
Maybe.
I shook this one. Yeah, you can see everything is
Yeah.
on the bottom. It's great. Honestly, that's awesome. And I'm pretty extremely lactose intolerant, so whenever I drink milk or eat dairy products, I suffer after. And
This one's gonna be light because I've been reading that it's good for people who suffer from lactose
I
intolerance.
can already tell while I'm drinking it, it's definitely not going to have the same effect as normal milk because it's not as heavy. There's not as much fat content. I feel like. Like, wow, this date one is impressive. That is really good. Highly recommend if you guys come to the UAE to try this out. But yeah, this is
I agree with what you said. It's a lighter like chocolate milk.
right.
Yeah. It's nice. It's very light.
All right, my friends, that is the end of another video here in the UAE with our star of the show. Guys, go give her a follow. Her link will be down in the description, and we talked about it earlier. We're finishing off the video with some karak. If you watched yesterday's video, you know what this is. If you didn't, you go watch it right now. Let them know where they can find you.
Find me on Samoy Harib, C with Scene, and you're gonna find the links down below.
In the description. Guys, if you love the channel, if you want to support it, please become a member. It goes a long way to supporting my channel if you got the money to send it over to us. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, clads.